Hey everyone, welcome to Mr. Radden Forms of Therapy. You're not crazy, it just seems that way. Been a pretty busy week so far. Sometimes it can be pretty tricky to get these new videos done. But first of all, thank you as always to all my subscribers and all the new ones. I really appreciate your support. Almost at 50 subscribers now, so that's pretty good. And hopefully I'll be able to keep extending my channel as well. Before I begin with the main stuff, there's another YouTuber that I watch called JTQuake, I think. The Ghetto Gamer, that's his name, that's what he calls his channel. He had a very interesting take about, and I'm not joking about this, a student in America, I believe. He was arrested at a Catholic school for using the Bible to state that there are only two genders. Wow. Things have changed since I was in school. I finished school 20 years ago this year, back in 2003. But my goodness, yeah, we went to school to study all the main stuff that we needed to learn, the religious studies, biology, science, all that jazz. But today, it's always nice to know that despite how crazy you might think you are in some respects, that there are others who are way worse than you when it comes to the crazy. I mean, my goodness. Anyway, a form of therapy, having a good laugh at some really ridiculous stuff. But for this video, the main topic is I wanted to discuss Monica Gueller from Friends. You probably know that she is one of the characters in the long-running sitcom that ran for about a decade or so, from the early 90s to the early 2000s. If you're a big fan of the franchise, then don't worry, because I'm not making this video to diss the show. It's not a review of the show whatsoever, or to diss Monica's character. I'm only talking about how the writers have done her character with her habit. Or when I say habit, I mean her OCD. Because there have been different forms of obsessive compulsive disorder, or even ADHD or PTSD in various media. So I like to discuss my thoughts on the way they're portrayed on screen. I think it's quite interesting. It also helps you to see that even though television and movies are fictional, they do have some real life things that are relatable in them. So props for that. So with Monica Gueller, she is one of the most neurotic characters I've ever watched in a TV show, by far. Her issues basically stem from having to please her mother, who has her own impossible standards. Ross, he's the favourite. He's known as the miracle child in the TV show. So Monica seems to have to work twice as hard to get the affection she badly craves. And this has led into her adult years. So she's still craving her mother's affection and, I guess you could say, admiration, even as a grown woman. Chandler once put it that if you leave anything out of place, Monica will basically claw your eyes right out. Now that's supposed to be a joke, but Monica can be so I would say frantic, but I would say so I'm not really sure exactly how to put it, but she has to have things precisely in order and have things completely clean 24/7. Partly just in case her mum visits maybe, but because of how badly she wanted to please her mum, it's now led on to her having OCD in her future years. Things have to be completely perfect for her. And that's true of a few other people as well. Nothing wrong with that per se, but it does happen with quite a lot of people, even as adults. So, with Monica, there's an episode where Ross dates a dirty girl. In other words, a woman who has a filthy apartment that she never bothers to clean. She never cleans her apartment. So they don't stay together, of course. They only date for as long as the episode lasts for. But Monica finds out that the apartment is filthy of this so-called dirty girl, because the episode is called The Dirty Girl for this reason. And Monica, she goes to the apartment and she asks this woman if she can clean her apartment. And of course the woman declines. She has no idea what to say to Monica. She just closes the door going, bye. Monica, however, stays to clean the outside of her apartment. And I'll get into why this more detail is important in a bit. The show basically makes a joke out of Monica's OCD. It plays it for laughs. And I don't recall Friends ever mentioning OCD at all. I mean, I could be wrong. It's been a while since I last watched them, but I'm pretty sure if anyone had mentioned OCD at all, I'd remember. But, okay, how do I put this? Now, you might think Monica's just doing something nice for a neighbour, right? What's the big deal? Well, here's the thing. For most people, right, it's all well and good them wanting to keep their own places completely clean and spotless. That's fine, that's up to them. If you're the kind of person who has to have everything in perfect order 24/7 all the time, that's your choice. It's your place to live in, so do what you want with it. If you want it to be spick and span, completely spotless all the time, that's up to you. I mean, I understand that it's good to be clean and orderly. Maybe not to excess, but it's a good thing to want things in order and to be clean. And most people, when they're invited to someone else's apartment, their house or flat, wherever you live in the world, and you notice that their place is a right state, it's a complete mess, and you look around their place and you go, oh, this place could use a bit going over. Glad I don't live here. I mean, it's kind of a tip, but it's up to them if they want to live like this. Anyway, that's how most people would think. But Monica, because of her OCD, right? She hasn't even seen this girl's apartment. She's only heard about it. And yet, her just hearing that this person's apartment is filthy compels her to ask if she can clean it. From top to bottom. I can't stop thinking about your place. I have to clean it. And on top of that, even after Monica's denied access to the apartment, she doesn't stop there. She still has to clean something, so she cleans outside the apartment, because that's all she can do. So it's like her OCD is saying, you're going to clean something while you're here, whether you like it or not, so you can get some sort of satisfaction. And the point I'm making here, folks, is that people don't realise that that's the way OCD is. It's not necessarily just about having to keep washing your hands. OCD, at least from my experience, OCD gives you the impulse, that feeling in your brain, that need to go the extra mile, even if it's not necessary, to get satisfaction from having to do a particular action. And if you can't do that particular action, your OCD will likely want you to do a runner-up, if you will, something else to compensate for not being able to do what your OCD wanted you to do in the first place. Does that make sense? I really hope it does, because sometimes it's not exactly completely easy for me to say out loud how things are in my head. But that's what I mean. People can have OCD without even realising it, depending on the action. I've had an impulse to do something random or something weird, right? And I just couldn't let it go. That was my OCD. That was my OCD telling me that I have to do this particular action. And if I can't do this action, then at least do this one. Because that's the way my OCD was. I'm not dissing Monica's character, like I said. There have been some great episodes in Friends. The characters can be quite funny, especially from the beginning of the show. But I thought this was just a very unique perspective into Monica Geller's character. Kind of why she is the way she is, even if it's played as a joke in the show. But anyway, that's all for me for this one, folks. Thank you for for watching if you made it all this way, and I hope it wasn't too boring for you. In the meantime, feel free to like, share and subscribe. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you next time. Be good.